This video, we're going to be breaking down the Red Hot Gaming $40,000 tournament. This game is, I believe, a 20,000 winner. Winner will receive $20,000 to the champion. This is the finals between Abram and Wesley. Super excited to break this game play down for you. I actually did a video on this before and messed up my recording settings. So going to be redoing this one, but I wanted to highlight, this is really one of the best comp games of Madden 25 because it's going to highlight some of the key things that I think are really important to game planning for this game and also for future Maddens, future college footballs. So I want to thank you everybody for watching. If you guys are looking to take your game to the next level, my school community is only $10. It gets you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks. If you guys want to sign up, that link is going to be in the description down below. But want to go ahead and start off by breaking down kind of this new style of dollar that you're going to see from Abram. As you see here, he is going to be using a show blitz dollar. The reason that I actually love this tournament, RHG, this is probably the biggest tournament that is not an MCS event, but it's the biggest tournament, has a full live event, I think hosted at the University of Oklahoma within their esports department over there. And I will leave a link to some of the socials for Red Hot Gaming. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff right now in the Madden community. So you guys want to be following them if you're looking to just be more involved in the community. So that being said, this little defensive style that Abram is going to be using, Abram is going to be Seattle, and I believe that Wesley is going to be the Patriots uniforms. He's using a show blitz. So he's going to get this guy super close to the line of scrimmage. And basically he's going to spend most of the game doing this disengage. And then let's say Wesley tries to set up some pass protection, because normally this is a 3-man where you're going to send these, 3, right? What Abram's going to do is he's actually going to mix in sending the slot corner, which is going to mess up some of the pass protection that Wesley is going to utilize. A lot of Madden really boils down to, especially at the line of scrimmage, this idea of having a really good blitz that you build your defense around, offensively being able to counter that blitz by utilizing different types of pass protection, and then defensively having the counter to the counter by having different blitzes that can mess up different pass protections. Super realistic, honestly. That is a totally realistic concept that you see in the NFL constantly, this ability to be able to create different types of pressure. So anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get in this. As you see, so Wesley's main blitz is his pickup is he's going to block the running back and then ID this guy probably. And so watch what happens here. You see the ID blocks this, but now you get the slot corner looping in free, and he is able to get some good pressure on him. Great step up by Wesley, by the way. And yeah, but anyway, you see kind of the chess match going on here, and then you see the chess match on the back end. So because Abram is blitzing this slot corner, he doesn't really have a flat defender. The flat defender basically has to be his user who jets out to that flat over there. So what you see from Wes is he is going to go to a lovely, lovely mesh concept type quick hike out of PA snag, where basically all he did was set up his pass pro and then have like a meshing combination here, and you're going to see that this tight end drag, as you see right there, is going to attack the space where the slot corner blitz from. So super high level play, just to be able to start out the game. And a lot that we learned in the first little bit. We learned new type of blitzing concept out of dollar. We learned different types of pass protection. We learned how to attack, how to basically dot over the top of a blitz by attacking where the blitz comes from, all those things. So here you see Abram is going to put this guy in a hard flat so that when he switch sticks off, he will now defend the flat area of the field. Another quick point here is you'll notice that Wesley is probably going to, for the majority of the game, run this normal close with this tight end to the wide side of the field. And what that allows is for a lot better spacing for some of these seam streaks and things like that. So anywho, we'll go ahead. Now you see there's the contain, and another really interesting thing to kind of watch, in my opinion, is the positioning of the safeties. At this point in the year, pretty much everybody's going to have mid-zone KO and deep zone on their safeties, which is really helpful for defending seam streaks. But anyway, that being said, and we're going to see a quick dot here. So again, another quick dot from Wes. This one's a little interesting. So what he runs right here is the cheap flat play with this little return route. One of the things I love about this is Wes already automatically realizes, and this is just how fast these players can adjust. This is why I think competitive Madden is such a fun thing to watch. Because watch the adjustment here. So Wesley, this is literally, I think, the second play of the game. He already realizes Abrams blitzing this slot corner, and he's going to engage in this guard. So it's going to suck Abrams' user into an animation with this guard. So this little return route, you can hit this right in this little pocket right here. So watch what he does here. You're going to see, watch how fast Wesley makes this read. It's snap. He's identified this right here. User is sucked down. And watch how fast this throw is right there. Boom. And able to catch it and get a couple yards. It was actually perfect timing. Had he thrown it a second later, probably would have been a KO as the Abrams user was going right into that little void. Now notice here, he flips into a short side with the tight end. Now, I think partially one of the reasons that Wesley does this shift right here is because typically this blitz is ran off of the left side. So as you notice here, it's like a left side blitz. So because it's a left side blitz, he knows that he has to blitz this guy, and then now it's going to leave, you know, a lot of open route combinations here on the left-hand side. So you see here from Abram, now Abram's going to send just 3, kind of coverage out of it. And look, now this is literally the whole chess match of Madden, in my opinion, this year in terms of the trenches. Wesley's doing a lot pre-snap picks up. He has to block the running back. Also, the reason for the flip could potentially be to put the running back on the left side to block this blitz a little bit better. He does. He pass protects here. And so now you've got a 4-man in the pattern route combination. I personally don't love this route combination. This is the cheat slot fade with like a crosser. And then I don't even know what the tight end's on here. I think he's on a streak. This is just a really... I don't love this play, but they love this. They run this a lot, and it's more of like a cover 2 shot play, in my opinion. But anyway, as you see... there, Abram is basically going to get a coverage sack. The pass protection gets glitched. As you see, the running back's not able to pick it up. And Pat Tillman able to get in for some pressure. Pat Tillman, I think at this point in the year, still probably one of the better loopers in the game. But he's also got this guy Watts here as well. These combine cards are so good. So again, the show blitz look from Abram. Going to have base out of cover 4 drop shell, which is pretty much what most people do. What's really nice about cover 4 drop, one of the beauties that a lot of people don't realize, is because of the coding within a cover 4 drop coverage compared to cover 4 quarters, compared to cover 3, any of those. It's a drop zone. So those outside quarters, they're never going to get bombed. It's very difficult to bomb cover 4 drop in this game. Here we see another quick dot from Wes. We'll take a look at the routes here. So right here we get, okay, so this is a new combo that a lot of people like out of YSL, or newer to me. So it's YSL, but this is kind of this is actually kind of what's crazy about this is an Indianapolis Colts from when Peyton Manning was quarterback staple. It's just he got to it a little bit differently. What they're doing is a stem down post that attacks right here really quick, and then a stem down in, which is going to attack kind of this underneath. So what they're doing is high-lowing the yellow zone. The way the Colts would run this would actually be like a 15-yard dig, and this would be an out and in like that. But it's basically attacking the same kind of places, same spots on the field. So as you see here, right, we get the pass protection, and look how quick Wes makes this read. This time, Abram, for whatever reason, this yellow does not get out, and that throw real quick right in that little pocket. And again, one of the beauty, I love the way Wesley plays offense. He is, excuse me, he is so good at quick dotting, especially in this year's game. I feel like he's really good at quick dotting out of this normal close. And there, hits a fade. Now right here, this is a little factor. This is a component of defense in Madden. Every single year, this is a factor. So Abram loves this show blitz alignment because one of the reasons why I believe is because he can man players up, and then you'll get press animations. One of the problems is here, I don't know exactly what happens, but basically this quarter, he's not base aligned. So because Abram is not base aligned, this quarter kind of gets into a weird position here. And watch what happens off the snap. You'll see just right off the snap, the quarter kind of freezes for some reason, and he just gets burned over the top. And it's a free touchdown from Wesley. This is the byproduct of Abram's defense blowing a coverage. You'll see Abram adjust to this as the game goes on. But as much as you see normal live close, I'm surprised that, I mean, that to me, I would count that as like a mistake on his part, just not having his coverage, not being able to keep integrity within his coverage. really bites him right there. And good kick return. And we're going to get out and see Abrams' first drive. So Abram is going to be in the Saints playbook on offense. Very similar to the 49ers playbook. I believe these are the best 3-ish playbooks in the game. Eagles for Wesley. Niners is another good one, and Saints. And Saints and Niners are very similar here. Here we're going to see a flat zig combination and then a backside post. Great read from Abram. And real quick here, notice the difference between these two defenses. Wes is going to be a little bit more traditional double safety go type of defense where the safeties walk down. One of the big benefits of this type of coverage is these corners are backed off, so they are not ever, unless you bust a coverage, you're really not going to get what happened to Abram. But there's a trade-off to it in that the underneath is going to be a little bit more open, as you saw Abram trying to attack underneath. Wes has to kind of bring his user down, and then that leaves the post open. A little P snag call from Abram. Good read right there. And so far, I mean, you think about a Madden game, this is kind of... Wesley's not doing anything that crazy. And that was a great... So this is the issue, man. This is such a good read by Abram. Again, this is the thing I was trying to say about Wes, but he didn't actually do it much on the first drive. But when you put the tight end to the wide side like this, because of the way double safety go aligns, watch this throw. Even though Wes's user's here, his user's so far down, and then he's kind of going to this flat and drag, that this is just such an open throw right there. And Wes switch sticks to it, but he's too late. And that's going to be a 1st and goal. And this is really kind of the story of this game. And this is really the story of Madden in general. And this is something I've been talking about on my channel for a really long time. Here we see a little red zone combo from Abram. Kind of a crazy one, honestly. All right, there we go. A little flat streak. Gonna motion the running back out, put him on a flat, create trips. Not a bad combo. And looks slant, not there. And there's the pressure. So again, when you send 5 out, you are susceptible even to just basic 4-man sheds. And so there you see the quick shed, able to get pressure. And now it brings up a 2nd and 12. And really, honestly, if you think about it, where you want the red zone, the real Madden red zone is from about the 15 to about the 3, somewhere in there. Once you get inside the 5, you're normally going to run the ball a lot. But you can't really run the ball from this far out, more than likely. So Abram's having to pass. And this is creating, the ability for Wesley to use the end zone as a second defender, the ability to use the power of switch stick, and then he's getting sheds. This is Abram's block. Look at this, guys. Abram is blocking the blitz. He might not hear. He actually was not blocking the blitz there, but he's normally able to block the blitz. And why wasn't he able to block that blitz? Probably because honestly, because he wasn't in play action, and his pass protection just didn't work. Does that running back corner stay? I don't know if it does. Anyway, here we see, so now 3rd and 18. Pretty easy user from Wes. Abram still fits that in. The fact that was even catchable was insane that Wesley gave that up, to be honest. Because look at the switch stick. It's actually really bad in I don't know why he does this. Maybe he's trying to bait him. But watch what Wes switch sticks. He switch sticks here. I guess the reason is to bring him here. But look, he stays there. I don't get that. He's got to be just... Yeah, I just don't understand why we're over here and why we stayed over there. Maybe he's trying to bait Abram to throw this, and then he's trying to jump it because you see he's running to it. But just late switch stick and almost gives up a touchdown on a 3rd and 18. Excuse me. Still trying to get off for this cold here. But as you see, Wesley able to get a red zone stop, and that's the difference in this game right now, and that's probably going to be the difference in this game for a long time. And I want you to watch throughout this entire game, throughout all the things that you're going to see here. You're going to see that Wesley is able to get red zone stops, whereas Abram is not able to score in the red zone. And that is the biggest difference. And honestly, if you even look at just fundamentally how Abram plays defense, it's not even bad. It's just not great for the way the game plays. And the reason why is because his defense is susceptible to big plays. because based purely off alignment, because they're both running cover 4. They're just getting to it in different ways. Abrams press, Wesley's not at the core. It makes it so that Wes is able to get bigger plays. You'll see it throughout this game. There, Wes runs a jet touch pass, trying to make the game easy for himself, and also just trying to use that run as a way to get to a hash. If he pops the run, great. If not, at least he gets on a hash, which makes passing significantly easier. As you see the flip, now watch what happened. You'll see these safeties move. So you saw the safety was here. He moved all the way out here. This safety was over here, and he moved inside. That is because Abram is not base aligned. Because Abram's not base aligned, let's say Wesley motions this guy out. This defender will move outside, and it'll mess everything up for his defense. That was something that John Beast did to Abram in the MCS, in the Madden champion MCS playoffs, and was really one of the main reasons why he was able to make Madden Bowl. One of the things that you're going to notice is oftentimes it's just these little bitty details that change everything for you. See, again, here there's a flip. Notice the safeties move again, which is not bad. It's actually kind of cool how they move like that. In this formation, specifically, it's an advantage. In some formations, it's a weakness. And there are obviously exploits for everything. There's strengths and weaknesses to everything in Madden. And a lot of it is really understanding, like, not only what you're doing, but what your opponent's doing, and then how you can kind of set up your opponent throughout a game is really where the chess match gets played. Here you see a little mesh combination, nice playmaker, hits Loveland and able to get down for a couple yards, bring up a 3rd and 1, kind of nearing the end of the first quarter here. I believe Abram does have his hooks on 5, and Abram is spreading his defensive line as well. In running this defense. The nice thing about the show blitz alignment is you can run your whole library of coverages, whereas Wesley is going to primarily have to base out of cover 4. When you show blitz like that, your safeties don't get beat as bad, so that's an advantage to it. You could run things like cover 2, and your safeties won't get killed as bad as they would if you were in double safety go. The weakness is your outside corners can get exposed just because they are put in. There's a lot more stress put on the outside corners in a defense like this. It's almost a great throw from Bo Nix there. That's going to bring up a 4th and 1. Notice Abrams on 5 here. And this is the big down. Abrams whenever you see a player Wesley's caliber be put on a 4th down, it's pretty significant. Because as good as these guys both are offensively, they probably themselves believe they should never get on a 4th down. And there he hits Loveland. Now let's take a look at this play. This is a big down. Abram goes with basically just stock cover 2 across the board here. And the hooks, I believe, are on 5. So now what we see from Wes here is we get this drag. I believe we're going to get that speed out. We get a post, and then I think a corner route as well. So it's basically 3 high-lows. It's a high-low over here on this right side. It's a high-low in the middle of the field between these guys, and it's ultimately a high-low over here. It's a great route combo that spaces the field well. As you see, this drag is taking this yellow zone, and it leaves this wide open. It's a great read from Wes as well, and Abram also sent more people, and Wes is going to get the ball down in the 18. So this is going to be the first red zone opportunity, more than likely, for Wes, as he kind of gets down here, and we're going to see what Abram can do defensively inside this red zone, which is where the game is really, truly won, and where I think people often spend the least amount of effort on their red zone, and it's oftentimes the thing that matters the most, which is kind of crazy. There, Wes takes a huge sack. This is like really, really bad for him because we saw what this did to Abram. This is the drive killer. So he goes speed out here to the left side. You might even be able to throw that, but it's a tight window. And because he ran play action, he can't throw it where he wants to. He's going to roll out. He has a corner or out, a streak, and a drag. So he's rolling out here. And he's just, honestly, it just comes down to he got shedded, he got pressured. And here's the thing. He takes a sack. We saw last drive how that sack down there in the red area really kind of it ruined Abram's drive. He was not able to get those yardage back, and it kind of ultimately ended him up in a 3rd and 18, having to take a really tough throw. Here, Wes now on basically the same thing. 3rd and 22 in the situation. And guess what Abram's able to do? He sets all of his zone drops back to 25. He basically backs everybody up. And he's saying, I'm just going to basically concede the 3 to you. I'm going to try to hold you to 3 in this situation. Perfect defense. You're going to see he's going to run the engage D. He's going to send the pressure. And Wesley goes to one of my least favorite plays in the game. And 4th and 20. So Abram gets a red zone stop. These things are so big in this year's game. It's actually one of my favorite things about the game this year is in the NFL, if you have 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, those are some really hard downs to pick up. In Madden, you've been able to pick those up for the last several years, but with the addition of switch stick and with the way the game plays, you really can't get off schedule. When you take big sacks, it really, really limits your success rate on your drives. When you have negative plays, those things matter a lot more now in Madden than they ever have. And I actually think that's good for the game because it forces more discipline into the game. It forces more disciplined passing. Wesley needs to throw that ball away, get to 2nd and 10, not 2nd and 22, would have been an entirely different thing. There you see Abram pops a drag, real nice, gets up to about the 51. And this is where also some clocking components start to come into the game. Abram is down 7, and I believe Abram gets ball. No, I can't remember. No, I think Abram gets ball at half. He does. He gets ball at half. So Abram gets ball at half here. So if Abram is able to go down and get 7 in this situation and not give the ball to Wesley before half, it's really significant in determining the outcome of the game. Here you see inside zone, kind of an interesting cut there, but Ashton Gente able to scamper forward for a couple yards. And this is one of the real beauties of the Saints and Niners playbook. It has the single back tight flex, which has wide zone, which is the best under center run out of any formation that is like, what's the word? Is it 11 personnel? Out of any 11 personnel formation, it's the best under center running set. It's that single back tight wide flex, a really key formation. And, you can really leverage the power of that. So here we go, double streaks with the basically wide sail. The streak throws right at Wesley's user. And this is why, if you take a look at the coverage here, this is a very basic coverage, man. And this is what I love about the game. I kind of like this about the game this year. The more that I see it is these are just basic. This is just like he covers who's this side, but it's just quarter or third, quarter, flat, yellow zone here, and then I believe a vert hook here. So what Wes does is he says, oh, it's Y sail. I know the play, right? So he switch sticks off this while this is taking the drag. This is actually a really good timed switch stick, and he's going to bite down on the playmaker, as you see right here. And really by him playmakering, he can't really throw that, and he can't really throw that. And that throw is dead because of where it's out on the field. And so you see, Abram should have thrown an interception. Doesn't throw an interception, but 3rd and 6. Minute 55 here. Abram needs this first down because if he gets his first down, he's able to probably take the rest of the clock, or starts to really make it hard for West to get the ball back before half. And he gets pressured. And this is the name of the game. What happens? Notice the slide protection. This is so critical. And actually, honestly, I've never seen this hover like that. I don't know that Wes even meant to do that. I mean, obviously, I would assume he did, but I don't know what that really did for him. But here's the thing. The loop comes in, and that's the second time where this has been, guys, this is so important. Abram finished 3rd. I believe Abram finished 3rd this year. 3rd or 4th in total points, total whatever, on the MCS rankings. I'd have to really look it up, but I want to say it was definitely top 5. I mean, he was in so many finals this year. I think he was in 3 semifinals. He made semifinal after semifinal after semifinal, including semifinal in the MCS playoffs. Abram is a top 5 player of Madden 25. He knows everything about the game. That's the reason I'm saying that. There's not a significant knowledge gap between Abram and Wesley. A lot of this is going to come down to a skill game. They both know the best offenses. They both know the best defenses. They both know the counters to the best offenses and the best defenses. The reason that matters is because Abram has pass protection for this crossfire blitz. That crossfire blitz, this has been a meta blitz for pretty much since October in different ways, shapes, and forms. And so Abram has pass protection for this blitz, and he wasn't able to pick it up on a key third down, and that sack ended up costing him. Maybe he didn't set up the right pass pro, whatever. And then he takes one mistake, and he compounds that mistake by this right here. Take a look at this. Wes in a situation, this is kind of a really cool chess match piece. So 1 minute 23, what is going through these guys' minds? And going through Abram's mind right now is probably hold him to 3, hold him to 3, hold him to 3. In Wesley's mind, it's make sure Abram doesn't get the ball back and score either 3 or 7. That's normally that's normally how this scenario is played out. But here's the kicker. Wesley breaks tendency. The tendency would be this to be a jet touch pass, and he would just run out here, and he would get the clock going, and that would be the thing. Wes goes with the fake jet touch pass. He streaks this guy, and he corner routes this guy. So you have a high-low here, and then you have a backside post. So watch this play out one more time. Watch Abram's user. See how he moves like that? He switches onto the safety to try to shoot the jet touch pass. Abram over pursues on the jet touch pass, and he's now out of position. Great block by the running back, by the way. And this is just a free touchdown for Wesley that puts the game now at 17-6, which is a 2-possession game, and Abram's going to get the ball back. Why is Wes willing to do that? Because the way the game has been going so far, Abram has pretty much not been able to score. Wes is going to now play a specific style of defense that is designed to only give up a field goal. In this year's game, one of my favorite things about switch stick, which I was very critical of switch stick at the beginning of the year, I still think there's some things about switch stick that I don't love, but one of the things that I really love about switch stick is if you want to take something away, you can do it. You can put your players in positions, and you can user them in a way that you can say you have to throw the ball here, which is really what good defense is all about. It's all about making them play left-handed, making them throw where you want them to throw, closing off throwing windows. Those are really, really key. So anyway, Wesley's going to be doing that on this defensive drive. Basically what Wesley's going to say is, you can have 3, but I'm not giving you 7. That's his whole strategy here. I would assume him being willing to throw that touchdown is him saying, I'm willing to give up 3, but I obviously don't want to give up 7. So it's going to be cover 4 every play. As you see here, cover 4 every play. There it is. He did cover 2 the right side, but he, again, knowing the strengths and weaknesses, he cover 2s. Take a look here real quick with me. He cover 2s this right side, okay? So what Wesley's also trying to do here with this situation clockwise, if he gets Abram to another really, really big key here. The game is starting to slip from Abram. As the flow of this game has gone on, he's settled for 3 twice in the red zone. He's given up 2 big one-play touchdowns, and that's really the story of this game so far. Other than that, he's been playing fine. He's been making good reads. He's been throwing to open receivers for the most part. And so what Wes is doing here with this, by scoring in that situation, is he's 1 minute 12 here in the second. If Abram doesn't score here, or there is a piece of Abram where the game is starting to slip away, so I'm going to start to press a little bit, and I'm going to start to push the ball downfield and push the ball into tight windows. That's Wesley's whole strategy here, is as he's managing this game, he's saying, Abram, I think I can get you to press and throw the ball into bad windows. It's important for Abram not to press and stay disciplined, because this is where you can lose a game. Because if Abram throws an interception and this turns into 20-6, even Abram goes in halftime 17-6, this game is in bad shape. So it's a big piece here that part of this is Wes is just trying to get Abram to press as well. So here we see a 3-man rush. Notice what Wes does here. He goes quarter, inside third, quarter, flat, the yellow's here, and then he's got the vert hook and he's got the cloud, right? Now what Abram does, he calls a play that beats that. He has the streak, he has this deep corner that's going to clear this cloud, and then if you switch stick over here, the ball really is supposed to go here, okay? So you see Wes does. He switched it over here. This throw is now open. I do think this is one of the hardest reads to make in the game, by the way. Like, I think it's a hard read. I'm not saying that at all. And I think you see here, Abram is going to his check down, and he's going to turn up and get 3. But the pressure gets there, and that's off a PA snag again, by the way. And now we have a 2nd and 10. A lot is happening. A lot is going on. And a lot is affected by the pressure, right? The pressure is the ultimate equalizer. You see here, another cover 4 base defense. And let's take a look on this backside. I believe Wes runs match here on the left. So I think, I don't know for sure. He might have just manned up players. He basically goes with a change-up coverage. I don't love that coverage, honestly. Wes is starting to kind of play a little bit more aggressive, which I don't love that. But I think Wes is basically, he's trying to go for the throat right here. He's trying to end the game before half, which is cool. But here, goes right back. Cover 4, good read from Abram on the speed out. And now we're kind of getting down to this position. Abram is now in field goal range. And now Wesley, primary concern is holding to 3 here. And watch how this gets played out. This is massive. And also pay attention. One other thing we didn't address yet is Abram doesn't have any timeouts. So that also affects how Wesley's going to play coverage. He's going to try to make Abram throw the ball in the middle of the field where he can catch him and tackle him. And then obviously you get the runoff and the clock starts to basically work significantly against you. So that's another little factor that really affects things here. We're going to see the motion out. Now, really smart by Wesley. One other thing I wanted to say. So the common thing here is the motion out. So the motion out, you're going to hit that speed out, right? Best way to defend that is to cover 2. So what you would get is you would get speed out, corner, streak, and then the corner would clear cover 2. Watch what Wes does. He manually just clicks onto the slot, pulls him out here. So now you can't throw the speed out, and he can get over the top with that cover 4 shell. So that's actually a really high-level thing. Abram ultimately doesn't end up running that, but that's the whole purpose of Abram running the streak, is because of the tendency for that to be a cloud flat on the outside. So a lot going on right there. Anywho, so you get streak, and then you get post and snag. So there's the playmaker on the snag. Abram has to throw it away, and that brings up a 3rd and 10. Again, Abram is you're starting to see it just in the route combinations. Nice playmaker, and going to throw it away, and doesn't. And this is a game-changing play. Watch what happens here. And this is why pressure bust price. At this point, this is one of the worst things. And again, these guys are both better than me. I would have done the same thing. A lot of pressure on the game, 20,000, all that stuff. I'm just trying to break the game down, trying to learn from this, and trying to help you guys see what I see. So, in this situation, you go into half 17-9 and you get ball at half, you go down score, you're going to be right in the game. You're right there, right? If you get no points on this drive, it's really, really significant. And you're going to see that here because Abram doesn't have timeouts. Situationally, we have this. The reason he's having this here is because he will playmaker it either way and then basically use that as his check down if Wesley's user runs here. So as we see this play out, you see he playmakers. Wes is clicking. Here's that same thing he did before. He's clicking on the outside quarter, and he's going to go guard that. So if you're Abram right here, this is what I don't understand. This throw is there, but obviously Abram doesn't want to throw that because that doesn't, I guess it's kind of there, but you see, watch how this plays. Just slow down a little bit. So you see he starts to play it. So you can't throw that. Now, at that point, this guy is breaking free off his shed. And again, this is all happening in real speed, so it is what it is. But at best, what I think Abram's trying to do is playmaker and throw this right here. I think that's what he's trying to do here. So he's going to buy some time, but then he gets this guy shedded, and you can roll out much faster this direction than you can this direction. So at this point, you have to throw this away. The play's dead. He technically did not playmaker him up. I don't know if he's waiting on it or what, but as all this is happening, you're seeing he didn't playmaker him up like he probably wanted to. He's getting shedded. He's not able to scramble because he's on the left side of the field, and he gets sacked. As you see, I think he was trying to throw it away right there. He's trying to throw it away just a split second too late. He gets sacked because he has no timeouts. Now it's 4th and 16. This is actually really smart, too, that he's going to do that. I don't know why he checks if he's on conservative in that situation, but he runs out of time, and he's not able to get 3. And you see the facial expression from Abram. You see the facial expression from Wesley, as that was a really, really, really significant mistake from Abram to close the half, because that completely changes everything in terms of how the game will be played moving forward. Anywho, Abram does get balled out of half, though. If he can go down and score, he's still in an okay position, but it's obviously not ideal. So he loves this motion out with the clear out streak, trying to kind of counter the switch stick, hits that post in that nice window, nice throw. And again, he's been able to move the ball, right? But when he's gotten down into the 30 and the 20, he's not been able to do much. So kind of a meshing combination, one of my favorite ways to run that play. Good play. And you're seeing now Abrams calling a lot of PA snag. I mean, he's basically called PA snag probably 80% of the game, doing different combinations out of it. Here's a YSL call, double streaks, gets shedded up the middle, and there it is. Good tackle. Good sack from West. Again, one of the things you're seeing as the game kind of progresses later on in the year, the sheds are getting much more quicker. The pressure's getting there quicker. Everything gets sped up as the game speeds up over the course of a year. So, anywho, here, you're going to see nice little bunch combination. Standard combo, been good all year. Looking for that corner route. Gets shedded again, and that got an inaccurate. Now we're on a 3rd and 14. And again, take a look here at this left side. Watch this left side here. That's another thing about the disengage. Look at this shed. Look at that. Look at how fast he just throws him off, and man, he just hossed him. 3rd and 14. Pass rush. Pressure is the ultimate equalizer. When you can get pressure sending 4, it's very effective because you can just cover a lot more of the field when you can do that. The windows get tighter. Like this route combo, he loves this clear out streak on the right side. I have not seen as much of that, but he is going to go 2 clear out streaks. I actually love the route combo here. Drag. This is one of the best route combos I have not seen anyone use. Watch this. This is great. So what I love about this is you have this streak clearing out, and then you have this guy right here. This is PA snag. You have a deep speed out, which is a really nice route. You have 2 clear outs. So there's going to be a lot of space in this middle of the field for this drag and this short post to be able to work together. Watch how open this is. This is such a good play. Take a look here. So the play action blocks the blitz. His first read is probably, if I was him, I'd be peeking over here to see if there's a cloud. He sees there is a cloud. This is a great route combo for this because look at where Wesley's user at. He's all the way over here. It's hard for Wesley to get back here. And even if he does, these yellow zones, and then you just see, look at that nice drag coming underneath. And I mean, that's just a really high level route combo. Definitely something I'm going to add to my game out of a PA snag. It's not something that I've ran previously, but I think that's a real way that's spaced out really well. Really nice route combo for specifically for cover 4 and also for switch stick. Then he goes to this quick snap, and he hits a corner, and he gets a bad throw. And this is pretty much it. I mean, he gets on a 4th and 3. He goes to a quick hike play, and this is what I don't love. Flat, running back streak, corner route, slant route running into things. Kind of a sloppy play, but I think meant to quick hike Wes. He does get the quick hike. Wes is going to be able to switch to go onto this and make this tackle. So Abram tries to throw it in a pretty tight window. Not able to do it. And that's another red zone, basically, effectively another red zone stop, another inability to capitalize when you get across midfield. And now Wes has the ball up 2 possessions in the 3rd quarter. A super big stop there by Wesley in that situation. It really just, I don't know what you could chalk it to a lot of things. I just think think Abram quick snapped something and kind of was there, but required kind of a hard throw. And now you're going to see Wes jet touch pass, because if Wes gets 7 on this drive, it really puts him in the driver's seat. 2 possessions, midway through the third quarter is obviously really significant. So Wesley is going to be really disciplined on this drive. And now you're going to see Abram start to kind of overcompensate and try to get a stop here. So he's starting to send, different sides, gets pressure. And again, that time Wes had a nice open out route, but the pressure, right? Pressure changes everything. We're going to see 2nd and 10 ball on the 44-yard line. Flips to the wide side of that tight end seam streak. Goes with the wide sail, the corner. Ooh, tight window read. And this was not a great read by Wes. Kind of, yeah. Abram just kind of probably just didn't expect that. He's trying to get back to that in route. And, just a little bit of hesitation, and Wes able to kind of pop it in there. You see Abram's facial expression at the top right there. Not too thrilled with that. Going to bring up 3rd and inches. This is a big first down. If Wes can get this first down, you're going to start to see some things. Another thing Wes is doing, if you look at the bottom right, is and that's you see Abrams. Yeah, this is not ideal. I don't know what that route or what that zone is. I want to say that that's a hard flat, but I just don't know. It might be a cloud. It's kind of, I don't know. But Abram does go cover 2. And then you see, watch the flat defender. What? Did he switch stick to care? I don't know. But this is at 10. Maybe he put it at 10. See that throw right there? That's, yeah. And I think at the end of the day, like, maybe potentially a KO. You see Abrams' facial expression was pretty significant for him. That first down was really significant. They could have been a pick. That could have been a KO. Ends up being a first down for Wes. And honestly, Wes kind of, I don't know, as we kind of get down into this game, you're starting to see another thing that you see a lot in some of these games that you really didn't see from Fancy this year. There goes the jet touch pass. Is when you watch Fancy play, if you guys don't know, Fancy, best player of the Madden 25, probably had the best MCS season we've ever seen. Like really, really good, really consistent all year. 1 Madden Bowl, 2 belts. One of the things, if you watch him play, you will see he will have his set 10 to 15 plays that he's mastered, and he won't really change those plays. Like he won't just he won't freestyle a ton. Here's that crosser play again. So this is cheat slot fade. We have this fade and this cross. I would assume if he runs cover 2, that's why we call that, because that's a touchdown. So you have kind of the scissors action. You get a clear out streak here, and then you're going to run a drag underneath of it, and essentially high-low in the middle, which isn't terrible. It's not terrible. It's just it takes so long to develop, and you're going to have to block a running back. So you see here, block running back, and you're going to get a little time here. So you see here, cover 4. So automatically we see this. Okay, we know the slot fade's dead. Can't throw that. Step it up to pick up the pressure. You can throw this, which is what Wes is going to do. Throw it here. But great switch stick from Abram. Able to kind of pop into position. And able to get a first down on that. How he got a first down? Don't know. These are like the last 3 or 4 plays from Wes, probably the worst 3 or 4 plays he's had all game. Just in terms of, I think what's going on is Wes is anticipating Abram to run cover 2 to try to press, and Abram's not. And because of that, you're getting kind of some tough passes. There goes down to the red game. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6. And as the beauty of what Wes has been able to do is as he picks up these first downs, he's able to take more clock. Here, Abram is going to go to the cover 2. And you're going to see now there's also I think there's also a significant tail to cover too as well. That I just realized. Good read by Wes, and he's gonna get out of there. He's gonna get 7, and that's gonna be huge. That's a huge 7 right there. And really, just not a whole lot. I mean, Abram just kind of ran man coverage, and Wesley just kind of beat man coverage, and that was what it was. Standard PA snag combo here. I hate this Texas route. Just doesn't get it. Yeah, it's okay. I don't love how it spaces. Watch how many plays Abram runs too. As you watch this game, Abram runs a lot of different plays. Like that was another one. A lot of unique plays, a lot of unique combos. And the reason that I think that as you watch the game, I think this is just coming even more clear to me than it maybe has ever been. I'm not saying just run one or two plays like some people do, but what I'm saying is he's running different variations of the same play. So to be fair, here you're going to see there's that out route I was talking about earlier, trying to catch you in cover 2 to the right. Notice Wes moves that slot out so he doesn't have to play cover 2. You see there, doesn't have to play cover 2, and then just gets a shed. But as you watch this game, and as you kind of watch comp Madden in general, one of the things you start to find is when you know so much about the game, a lot of times that's going to affect kind of how you call the game, and you will sometimes start calling plays that are okay, but they're not like your best stuff. And and if you reflect on, if you actually chart the plays, you'll realize, you look back at the game log, I've only called like my top plays like a couple times in the game. Which maybe that's how you want to play the game, but I don't think in Madden you need to play like that, because we've just consistently seen that. So you see here, gets another inaccurate on that outside. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 situation. Kind of a must convert to stay alive here. It's going to go to that running back corner right again. I actually like that combo. And you see, gave him a little bit more of an option on the backside there with that post. Real nice read from Abram. And he's able to pick that up. I like the running back corner a lot more than I like the outside receiver on the corner, just because it gets it into a pocket of the. All right, so first play down here, Ingram, streak inside. And a KO knocks that out. Again, Abram basically has to get 7 here. He's pretty much needs 2-point conversions as well. I actually love that play. It's another play that I just love from him. I don't know how he got that. What is that? What is that route? Let's take it back up here. Oh, he goes to stack flex. That's just a crosser then. Okay. But I actually love this formation out of Saints. This stack flex is always a really good formation, kind of a mix in. But again, notice how much Abram just audibles around compared to Wesley. I will say that. And then also just kind of notice, like, I don't know how rarely Abram runs what's probably his best plays. There almost gets lurked by you see his eyes get huge there. Almost got lurked. Another red zone possession for Abram. Now he is losing by 18 points. So if he does get stopped down there, a field goal he does need to go for a field goal. And there, I mean, this is just, again, I think what he's expecting is for this to be a hard flat. And then he's expecting this to kind of come down. I think he might have even thought he ran commit. So he's trying just to pop this right here. But this zone just kind of plays crazy. Able to lurk it. Pick. And that's pretty much going to be the ball game. So a lot of things you take away from this game. I mean, Wesley's just going to clock this out from this point forward. A lot of things that you take away from this game, just in terms of comp Madden in general, and kind of how the game management also affects different things within the game itself. One of the main takeaways for me is just how important it is to play defense in a way that you're not going to give up big plays. Because when you don't give up big plays and you force them to have to drive the length of the field, inevitably, a lot of times you're going to be able to force them into red zone possessions. And red zone possessions is probably the best place. It's really where the the strength kind of shifts back into the defense's favor. Things like really the two positions where the defense has a little bit of a leg up on the offense in Madden is in that red zone, like 15 to 5 yard line area. And then in any situation where you get a big, like a big sack, so 3rd and 18, 2nd and 22, we saw those down and distances be fairly difficult to convert. And it's when you can kind of sit back. You don't have to respect the run. You don't have to respect the underneath passing game. You can just drop everybody back, and you can let your pass rush go to work. Those are kind of the two places in which they get the most advantage. And really the way that you get to those two positions is by playing a bend but don't break defensive style, which is what we saw from Wesley. And then also by consistently being able to send pressure. And Abram is going to go ahead and get out of this game after that punt situation. And that's going to be GG's. Wesley is your RHG champion. Ends up taking home $20,000. And a lot can be learned from this tournament and this game. I'll leave links to the RHG network. A lot of stuff they're doing right now. Super cool. So hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay breakdown. And here he is. He's going to get his big check. As you see there, Wesley, $20,000 RHG live event. And yeah, a lot to be learned from this game, boys. Thanks for watching. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, check out our school community. That's going to be linked in the description below. $10 gets you access to everything that I know about the game, all the offensive, defensive ebooks, both for college football and for Madden as well. Thanks for watching, boys.